level?
Yes. Cecily Hughes.
And we're going to get mics there.
Cecily Hughes.
At our press because it's not good.
More, please.
Cecily Hughes. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Thank you
9,
very
10.
much.
Okay, you're welcome.
But we may have to speak a little louder.
Okay.
No, it's, we got it.
Hold on. Chairs
They're low, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, they are. It feels awkward. I don't know how we let them up.
We just move to this chair. Is there one or whatever?
Is it right here?
This thing?
Hi.
Is this? Oh, no. Good. Can I grab the guy at the front door?
Oh, well, I guess we all go with low chairs. Thank you, sir. That better? Okay.
You can go.
You wanna?
She's gonna start off speaking
Okay.
and Ms. Hughes is gonna speak last. Okay?
My name is Jasmine Rand, and I'm with Rand Law LLC. And I represent Ms. Cecily Hughes, seated to my right, alongside attorney Benjamin Crump, who's a nationally renowned civil rights attorney who's really best known for his representation of Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown. And we take these type of cases against large corporations combating racial discrimination all over the country. But today, we're here to deal with the case involving Ms. Cecily Hughes, who on February 26, 2019, was traveling home to Houston, Texas from Michigan after she had just given a speaking engagement on women's empowerment at a university. When she landed in the Houston airport, she was racially profiled and discriminated against by an agent for United Airlines. Ms. Cecily is an actress, she's a philanthropist, she's a producer. She has appeared in films alongside Hollywood stars such as Will Smith. She founded a nonprofit organization with her sister geared toward uplifting the youth. When she was traveling back from Michigan that day to Houston, she was actually returning from a speaking engagement where she had just finished speaking about women's empowerment, about empowering other women. When she landed in Houston, another woman, Carmela Devano, rendered Ms. Hughes temporarily powerless. When she landed, she approached a gate agent and asked for help because she was waiting for her luggage. She didn't do anything wrong. She didn't start any problems. All she did was simply ask a gate agent for help. That gate agent began screaming at her, using racial slurs, calling her a monkey, telling her she had a monkey face, and then using this archaic racist term, shining monkey. Now, Ms. Hughes, like most people out there listening to this, don't even know what a shining monkey is. A shining monkey is the equivalent of using the N-word. Cecily was humiliated as the gate agent yelled racial slurs at her. Her face became warm and became hot, and tears started streaming down her face as she realized that she was powerless to fight back. She was powerless to say anything. Because Ms. Hughes realizes that in today's climate in America, a black woman is not able to fight back without becoming the aggressor. If Cecily had fought back that day, she most likely would have ended up with criminal charges. And so there she was, leaving a women's empowerment conference where her whole purpose was to empower other women. And she was left speechless. She was left powerless. She had to call the police for help. Now, other customers began to stick up for Mrs. Hughes. They told the gate agent what she was doing was wrong, that she needed to stop. But the gate agent didn't listen. So Ms. Hughes sought the help of other United Airlines employees. She asked the employees to call the police because she was afraid. And those other employees refused. Cecily was forced to call the police on her own. When the police arrived, Carmela Devano was charged with disorderly conduct for using a racial slur. Good. It's okay. When the police arrived, They charged Carmela Devano with disorderly conduct for using a racial slur. The state of Texas is now criminally prosecuting her under Texas penal codes for disorderly conduct and the use of a racial slur. Since that time, United Airlines customers that witnessed the incident have followed up, sent emails, and made calls demanding that United Airlines serve justice on behalf of Cecily Hughes. But despite the fact that Carmela Devano is being criminally prosecuted, despite the fact that she actually signed a citation stating that she called our client a monkey, despite the fact that United Airlines passengers have complained about her misconduct, she still has not been fired. But that's not surprising, given United Airlines' long history of racial discrimination. Just last year, Nigerian Queen Obioma landed here in Houston, Texas, where she also became the victim of racial discrimination at the hands of United Airlines employees and pilot. Queen Obioma was taking her seat in business class on a United Airlines flight when a white man refused to give her seat up to her, a seat that had been previously assigned. When Queen Obioma got up to go use the restroom, he blocked her from coming back into her seat. And then, in total disgrace, a United Airlines pilot ordered Queen Obioma and her 2 children off of the plane because the white man did not like the way that she smelled. In another case last year, NBA player Eric Murdoch was forced to give up his seat to a white woman and then was asked by a United Airlines employee if he was going to lead a boycott. When the plane landed, Mr. Murdoch was met by police who conducted an investigation into his misconduct and cleared him. He also filed a lawsuit against United Airlines. Last but not least, in 2016, Cornel West himself led a protest with black pilots against United Airlines for discrimination practices in their employment. United Airlines has a long history of racial discrimination. We are here today because that racial discrimination must stop. We demand that Carmela Devano is fired for using racial slurs against our client Cecily. Because you cannot tell a black woman, you cannot call a black woman a monkey in Houston and get away with it. Not in Beyonce's hometown, not anywhere in America. The only name that we are calling today is the name of Carmela Devano. United Airlines, we demand that you fire Carmela Devano because you cannot call a black woman a monkey in Houston, Texas and get away with it. Not here in Houston, not in Beyonce's hometown, not anywhere in America. Attorney Benjamin Crump.
I'm Attorney Ben Crump, and I have the honor, along with Attorney Jasmine Rand, of representing Ms. Cecily Hughes. I have but 3 points to make to you this afternoon. It is outrageous that a United Airlines employee will call this black woman a monkey. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. The last time referring to her as a shiny monkey. But what's more outrageous than that is that this United employee is still employed with United Airlines. Secondly, this is precedent setting being here in Houston, Texas, because for the first time that I am aware of, when a person of color has been discriminated against and the person has said racist, just outrageous comments to this individual, it is the first time that a person has been charged with a crime of disorderly conduct. And so it's precedent setting that Houston Police Department would do more to remedy this situation than United Airlines. And that gives me hope for society, that we won't condone this racism, this discrimination by a corporation and its employees because we as a society, we're better than that. And so we want to publicly thank the Houston Police Department on behalf of not just Miss Cecily Hughes, but on behalf of people of color all over America who fly United Airlines. Lastly, United Airlines, today we're giving you an opportunity to do the right thing and terminate this employee. And if you don't do that, then that further lets us know that this is part of your culture. And we will take whatever legal remedies we have to take to protect persons of color who fly the friendly skies. We're prepared to talk with the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, who has previously issued travel advisories to African Americans who are discriminated against, to be on alert that if you take this airline, that you are likely to encounter racism, and the corporation isn't going to do anything about it. So because they won't take matters into their own hands, we're going to take matters into our own hands. And so be warned, United, that we will not let you sweep this under the rug. And thank you again to the Houston Police Department. At this time, you will hear from Miss Cecily Hughes, the young lady who was discriminated against.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
First off, I just want to say that it was humiliating, it was demeaning, it was degrading. As my attorneys both stated, I was flying back from a women's empowerment conference and workshop in Michigan, and I was going to empower women, and to come off of a flight, a long flight that was also not my original flight, to come off of that flight and for someone to demean me, to degrade me, to use racial slurs against me, and I mean, she made me powerless. She stripped me of all my power in that moment. It was nothing I could have said as a black woman, as a woman of color. It's something that I'm passionate about women, and about women having just being treated right. And so I really don't know what to say, because I didn't think in 2019 I'd be being called a monkey multiple times. So I just want to thank the Houston Police Department for having
Courage.
Yeah, having the courage to step up and do the right thing, and they did a great job with their investigation and the way that they treated me as a witness and protecting me as a civilian and a native of Houston, Texas. And I just want to thank them again, and I hope that United Airlines can take a page out of the HPD's book and learning how to treat people who've been victimized.
And Cecily, why don't you tell them how you had to look up the term shining monkey and what you found that it meant?
Yeah, when I was talking to the officer, I had to look up the term shining monkey because I didn't know what it meant. I hadn't heard it. I knew what monkey meant. And when I looked it up, it meant the N-word and a jigaboo. And it's an old term used during slavery and post-slavery. It's used to it's used to degrade black people.
Let us note, not only was the Houston Police Department to be commended, but also there were several white passengers who came forward as witnesses who said, you can't do this, you can't call her those racist terms and think that that's okay. So we want to thank them and thank everybody of good moral character for coming forward. And United, we demand that you fire this employee immediately.
Yes.
Can you give us any information about the employee? We have her name, I know, age or race or anything like that.
We don't have any solid or concrete information about the employee. She appears to be white. but we don't have any of that information at this time.
And what
Was
is
she
her name
wearing a
again?
name
Carmela
tag?
Devano.
Was she displaying a name tag, United name tag?
Absolutely, she
We-
was working at the gate.
She's a desk agent.
Yes.
She's a desk agent, and we know for certain that she's an employee of United Airlines. You know, our client has been in contact with human resources at United Airlines. Last week, she called them and spoke with them, and they refused to confirm or deny whether this employee had been fired. Our client is obviously concerned about traveling again with United Airlines and having to run into the same woman. And they refused to tell my client, saying that it would be a violation of their employees' rights to tell her. But when the New York Times called them yesterday, they felt free to tell the New York Times that she had not been fired.
They told me today that she's been on leave since the incident.
Yes.
And I think the issue is she's a member of a union, so they have certain protocols they have to follow, you know, even if they wanted to go ahead and get rid of her, apparently. You understand that the process they have to kind of...
I know this here. When you have an employee who does something so outrageous to demean your brand and interfere with your business that you seek, then you should take drastic actions. We have not seen any drastic actions taken by United, and that's why we're taking drastic actions. You can't tell me if Ms. Hughes would have taken matters into her own hands when she was viciously assaulted verbally by this employee, that she would not be facing the wrath of not only law enforcement, but condemnation by United Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the condemnation by United Airlines for Cecily Hughes for being discriminated against by your employee? And based on the pattern and practice, then you have to question their hiring, their training, and their retention.
And the state of Texas has clearly condemned the racist behavior of Carmela Devano. So why hasn't United Airlines issued a statement condemning her conduct? They can issue a statement saying that it's still under investigation, but it's not up for debate whether or not she called our client a monkey. In fact, Carmela Devano signed the citation that she was issued.
We just have to really send a strong message that this kind of visceral racism won't be condoned. And right now, with the silence of United Airways, what can we make of it other than they condone it?
From what time span did you report it to? A supervisor or somebody that could immediately take action or would be charged with that?
And I think she should go through the fact that she reported this to numerous employees who refused to help her.
Mm-hmm. Immediately.
Right, just following?
Immediately. Well, yeah, immediately. You know, if I would have said anything, I knew that I would have been the one, I would have been the aggressor. So I said something immediately. I literally backed up immediately and said something to the
She went to a second gate agent and asked that gate agent to call the police. That gate agent refused to call the police. Mm-hmm. And then even after the police came, as she was leaving, she heard a third United Airlines employee talking about the fact that they didn't like that Cecily had involved the police in this incident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I believe, was there some supervisor that you got to talk to, and you then found out from one of the witnesses that apparently the supervisor said, we'll take care of it, as if it was no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
What was the supervisor, did they take down information and everything so they would be able to follow up with definitively exactly what happened?
The police is who most of them, HPD is mostly who took the lead and did, you know, the note taking, and HPD, they were really, you know.
That the United supervisor didn't seem to really engage in it.
I just felt like United,
They've offered United Airlines has offered consolations to one of the passengers who stood up for Cecily. But ironically enough, although they've offered consolations to this passenger that witnessed the incident, they have yet to reconcile what happened with my client.
And the white witness who said that this was outrageous got offered to have her flight paid for.
Yes.
But yet they haven't in any way, to our reckoning, tried to demonstrate to Cecily Hughes that her business is valuable to United Airlines. And so if they don't respect her as a black woman, they shouldn't expect our black dollars.
Can you tell us anything about like what happened prior? Did she just come up and start calling you names, or was there an interaction over a dispute or complaint? Or
No, I was on the phone speaking to my sister, Anisha Hughes. We was talking about our organization, BSLS, and I was trying to get a reimbursement for, because I had to, catch an Uber, so I was trying to get a
Why don't you explain that?
Oh, okay. I was trying to, I was in Lansing originally. United canceled the flights, and they said we couldn't fly out to the next morning. We have another, our organization is at another school. I had to be out the next morning, so I caught an Uber, which was over $100, to the next city, and had my flight rebooked. So I was just wanting to be, reimbursed for the money I had to spend for, for something that was their mistake. So I was on the phone with my sister. I was informed, hey, you can, speak to the gate agent and say, ask for, a red code and ask to be reimbursed. They'll do it. So when I went to the gate agent, all I said to Camilla was, can I speak to a red code? And literally, she started calling me names immediately. Even the passengers, the white passengers who took up for me, the ones who did, even they were appalled and shocked, and they asked her, why did she have to talk to me like that? And they asked her to calm down, and they asked her to stop, and she wouldn't. She just kept going. Like, even when I said to her, I said, that's not okay.
Yeah. And it was almost as if, quite literally, the professional who is supposed to be trained to deal with the public and calm situations down was the person who was ratcheting up the situation while Miss Hughes is trying her best to step back, and everybody's in shock and disbelief that she's calling this black woman a monkey. Even the white passengers comment, you can't do that.
Yes.
And so I think they stood in solidarity, and that's why the Houston Police Department took an objective, report of everything. And they made their decision based on that it wasn't just Miss Hughes complaining, but it was these white passengers complaining as well, that this United employee was out of control, and that if United does not respect this black woman, then United Airlines should not expect black business.
Did anybody along the course of this deal take a video on their iPhone or?
I wish.
Yeah.
Not only, there's another important fact we should mention. We believe.
Can I say that?
Yeah.
I don't think the video was taken because it was so unexpected.
Yeah.
It was just shocking. Nobody expected this United employee to call Cecily Hughes, this black woman, a monkey. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
And so the other important fact that we should mention is that we believe this is not the first time that this United employee has done this. When Cecily was talking to one of the other employees after the incident, they said said something to the effect of, this isn't the first time. We've had a lot of problems with her before. So we believe that United Airlines has had prior notice of a problem with Carmela Devano and kept her employed.
We demand United Airlines fire Carmela Devano immediately.
And are you seeking some damages for stress and that kind of thing?
Right now, what we're dealing with is trying to get the termination of Carmela Devano. We're also going to be overseeing and ensuring the continued prosecution of her during her criminal charges, and we will then focus our attention on pursuing civil recovery.
HPD says she was just cited. She wasn't criminally charged.
She's being criminally prosecuted. She's set for trial in June. She's set before the Houston Municipal Court, and actually our client has been called to testify against her.
And that's why it's such a precedence, because as black people, we're used to being charged if we speak up for ourselves with disorderly conduct. So it's precedent setting that somebody who would be disorderly against us will actually be charged by the police department. And that's the precedence that's been set. And so other corporate representatives should be put on notice that police officers who have credible evidence are going to take action. That's the precedence.
You know, Ms. Hughes, you travel a lot, you know, just things, they take you a lot of places I can only imagine. Have you flown anywhere on United since that incident?
No, I have not.
What are your expectations? You apprehensive about using United in the future? And what's your general feeling about the company and the way you're treated?
My general feeling at this moment is that they've let me down as someone who frequently uses United Airlines. Our family, our organization, BSLS, I feel let down. I feel hurt and saddened that they're not taking something that the police seen as serious. They're not taking the matter very serious at all. So I feel extremely disappointed.
And until United Airlines takes this matter seriously, it sends a clear message to all African Americans that we should not give them our business if they don't respect us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a huge carrier in Houston.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to
They're based here.
inconvenience. Yeah, I've had to inconvenience myself, but I'm gonna do that because I won't be called, monkeys.
Will you fly with United again?
It's still going to depend on what they do. And I think that's not just her, but I think that's many African Americans who are going to watch your coverage today and read the New York Times article. United, the ball is in your court. Show us you respect our business, because if you don't respect black women, then United Airlines should not expect black dollars.
And United Airlines, I think, based on the passengers, what the passengers have had said, and standing by Cecily, United Airlines shouldn't expect white dollars either. And I think what's different about this case and what gives Attorney Benjamin Crump and I, who deal with so many of these civil rights cases throughout the country, we've seen what's happened with the Trayvon Martin case and the Michael Brown case and Tamir Rice and so many of these important civil rights cases. What's unique about this case is that it really gives us hope that there is some kind of dynamic shift in society. What's unique is that we have white passengers standing side by side with Ms. Hughes and supporting her. What's unique about this case is we have the Houston Police Department saying enough is enough. We're going to cite her for disorderly conduct. We have the state of Texas saying we are going to criminally prosecute Carmela Devano for racially profiling Cecily Hughes. So United Airlines, you should not expect any black dollars until this is resolved, and you should not expect any white dollars, any brown dollars until you rectify the situation. Society is speaking to you. The people have made it clear. The police have made it clear. You need to make it clear to Carmela Devano that racism will not be tolerated.
What is your next step from this day forward in the course of this resolution?
If we don't hear back from United Airlines immediately and attempt to resolve this in some meaningful way with our client, if they do not immediately terminate Carmela Devano, as Attorney Benjamin Crump said, we are going to reach out to organizations like the NAACP, who have taken strong stances against other airlines that have proliferated this racial discrimination in the past.
Yeah, which terminal was this? C? Do you remember?
I want to say, I don't recall at this moment, but yeah.
But it
Could
was
be E or
Detroit
C.
to Houston.
It was
flight, right?
It was a Grand Rapids.
Oh, Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids to Houston. It was originally Lansing to Houston.
Do you have the flight number of that particular flight so it could be cross-referenced?
We do. I don't have it off the top of my head, but we do have the flight number.
Attorney Rand will put it in the lawsuit if United doesn't do the right thing.
So you'll file a lawsuit if you don't hear by when you think, or have you already filed it?
We have not filed a lawsuit, but we do plan to pursue the lawsuit. We're going to attend the criminal prosecution, and if things are not handled by the time she faces her criminal charges, we'll move forward civilly.
Has a date been set for a trial yet?
There is a date in June. I don't recall the date off the top of my head. But we can send you, I have about 3 charging documents that we can send you, email you today.
And we'll certainly keep you informed, and if national civil rights organizations and African-American leaders around the country feel necessary to call for a travel alert for African-Americans not to fly United, we will certainly make that publicly known. It is our hope that we don't have to come to that drastic circumstance, but United may leave us no choice. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
you.
Thank you.
Do you guys want to leave me your email so I can send you the charging documents? And so they are, so the way that it works is the police will issue an initial